In California, 3 separate wildfires destroyed over 20,000 structures, 14,000 of these buildings being homes.
In 2011, a 9.0 earthquake struck off the coast of Japan, resulting in the mass evacuation of 270,000 citizens.
In 2017, 4 major floods occurred in India and Bangladesh as a part of an extremely violent monsoon. While the Red Cross started a relief program in the most affected areas, they could only provide shelter to 200,000 individuals, less than 2% of the affected population.
In 2019, Cyclone Idai hit central Mozambique, flooding local villages. 400,000 people lost their homes and were housed in emergency shelters that were not equipped for such a large disaster.
In 2018, a disaster struck closer to our homes and our hearts. Ellicott City, Maryland was struck by rainstorms that created a flash flood. More than 24 buildings were completely destroyed. Temporary shelter was opened, but what would happen to those who completely lost their homes? Who was there to take care of the aftermath?
According to a report conducted by the Norwegian Refugee Council, over 14 million people each year are displaced by natural disasters. Where will these people go when emergency centers have to turn them away? Where can they find help in this hopeless situation?
Our goal at Safe Haven is to be there for those who feel hopeless. Safe Haven is an iOS-based app that uses crowdsourced volunteers who donate their homes during times of natural disasters.
By using information provided by those who have donated and those in need, we are able to match temporary homes with affected families. Safe Haven provides a one-stop database for anyone in need of a home. Whether you have been impacted by a large flood or a house fire, you can always find a safe and comfortable place to stay with our app.
Neighbors can more effectively help neighbors, allowing for a more efficient allocation of resources and shelters.
Our goal is to help those in need of a home rather than make a profit. That is why we have decided to make Safe Haven a nonprofit business model. The main base of our funding is through private investors and public donations.
Safe Haven does not have ads, nor does it charge its user. This is in order to decrease the visual clutter, simplify the home finding experience, and increase accessibility.
When users open the app, they're given the login system to ensure security and user identity. The user is then asked whether they wish to register a home or find a home.
After making the registration selection, the user inputs their personal information and their address is added using a GPS tracker. When the user makes the Find a Home selection, they are greeted with a map showing possible homes.
In our area, over 95% of people have either been affected by a natural disaster or know someone who was affected. 98% of people say that they would use our app during a time of an emergency, and over 80% of people in our area said they would donate their home during a time of crisis.
With your help, we will be able to expand Safe Haven.
And remember that when the news cameras stop rolling, the effects of the disaster are still felt.
Together with Safe Haven, we can ensure you will always